friends. So today we are going to learn all about the leading edge. And you might be saying like, what's the big deal, Dr. Greta, the leading edge? I never even heard of that part of the club. You're right, you may not have heard about it, but the leading edge is a really important part of the club that we need to understand if we want to get that ball high, fast, and far. Now, in another one of my videos, I talked about how ball striking is so important, of course, because we're hitting a golf ball, right? But more importantly, how ball striking really works. And if you've watched that video, you've heard me mention that. But in case you haven't, or you want to learn a little bit more about the leading edge, we're going to talk about it right now. Now, in my previous video, I also talked about all the different parts of the golf club here, from the grip all the way down here to the club head. But right now we're zeroing in on a very specific part of the club head. Again, the leading edge. So I'm going to zoom in here. Boom. The leading edge is right here, folks, okay? So if I turn here so that you can see the sole of the club, what you can see here, this is the sole, this entire bottom part here, and this is the bounce. But we're talking about right here, this little edge right here. And so think of it this way. The leading edge is kind of the intersection between the club face, which we know is right here. This is the club face, and the sole. So this edge right here. The leading edge is just like what its name implies, is that it's leading into the ball striking. Now, let me be clear on this. The leading edge is the first part of the club that strikes the ground, not the ball, because we're going to strike the ball with the club face, specifically the sweet spot of the club face, right? We don't want to get it here. Now, most of us have done that more than a few times, more than we care to admit often. And when we hit the ball with the leading edge, that's when we call thinning the shot, right? We've all hit that shot, boom, and it kind of rolls along the ground, or maybe does a little bobble dance, but it definitely doesn't take off and go high and far as we hoped it would. So it's essential to know that the leading edge is the first part of the club that comes into contact with the ground, because we know ball first contact is going to happen with the club face, and as the club comes down, particularly with an iron, right, it's coming down to create a descending blow onto the ball. But as the club comes on down, guess what? The leading edge is coming right on through there. So that is what we need to know about the leading edge. Now, if you are ready to understand ball striking and what the club really needs to do in that process, check out this next video.